What's up, guys? Aaron and Chris here on episode 3. Today, I just want to talk to you guys about some of the stuff going on with FBA Journey. Q4 just started, so I want to talk about some of the things we're dealing with right now at the start of Q4, and some of the things we learned about the start of Q4 that hopefully can help you guys out as you guys start growing your Amazon FBA business. So let's get into it. So for those of you who have not been following the Instagram page stories very much, we've kind of been hinting at the new FBA Journey website we're working on. And I don't want to go too deep into it because we are still kind of working on it. But for those of you who don't know, we are going to try to create a kind of central hub for all of our FBA Journey content, whether it be podcast, videos, like blogs. And I guess let's just talk about that for a few minutes. Okay. So clearly the podcast and the videos are going to be part of it, but how about you kind of break down some of the stuff that's going to be included in the website?
Okay. So yeah, of course, Instagram, podcast, videos, it's all going to be on there. As we said, we want it to be a central hub. We came out with we did a giveaway here recently of a PDF document, and we're planning to do more of those in the future. So for those that do not win that giveaway, we are going to offer those documents on the site for a very cheap price.
Yeah. I think it'll be, honestly, since we started the FBA Journey Instagram page, we've been getting, I mean, you know this, we've been getting questions. Do you guys have a course? Do you guys have a course? Do you guys offer mentorship? And the answer is no to all of that. Like, we don't like... I've never liked the idea of selling information that I'm not 100% comfortable on. So the good thing with the giveaways is the giveaways are all things that are going to entail things we're extremely comfortable with. And I think this is going to be the best way to offer those services people have asked for. And right. You saw it right after the giveaway. We had a couple people, hey, if I don't win this, can I buy it? Like, yeah, sure. I mean, that's what it's there for. It's for you guys to learn something. Now, as much as I want to make it free, I guess, what's your kind of standpoint on this? As much as I want to make it free, this is my thought process to making each of the lessons per se some form of value, whether it be $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever it is, depending on the how in depth the lesson is. But when you get something for free, I feel like, at least in my opinion, if I get something for free, I don't utilize it as much as I should. Right. We've won a course giveaway from one of our mentors before, and we didn't utilize it at all. No. But if you think about it, when I pay for something, I use it, and it doesn't have to be thousands of dollars. But even if it's like $5, I feel like it will give people the motivation to actually do something with it. And that couple bucks will help go back into the channel, just being honest. I mean, we need new video and audio equipment anyway. As you can see, our books are kind of our mic stands, but $2 isn't gonna make us rich, but it'll help go back into the channel, keep this going. But at the same time, I feel like it'll help keep the people who are interested and serious about it accountable. So
yeah, and like we said, we are FBA. The point of FBA Journey is not for us to make money. We're doing Amazon. That's how we're making our money.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything that we get out of FBA Journey at any point is automatically going to be going back into FBA Journey in some way, shape, or form, whether that's most likely in new equipment, because we're always going to need new equipment.
Honestly, one of the things I do want to invest in is we have Bashar's course, we have Derek's course. I want to invest into as many Amazon FBA courses as we can, because there's only certain stuff, there's only so much you can know about, but different people, like I know Dan Bass has a course, Tanner Fox, there's a few other courses out there I'd like to take, just because there could be Matt Loberstein has a really solid course, I've heard, and I want to kind of look more into him, because if there's something we learn in there that helps us grow our business, I can guarantee we'll be able to teach you guys the same method. So it's kind of
and we can also utilize that if we're able to purchase those courses and go through them completely. We can utilize that to tell you guys, hey, this course has a lot of good information in it, whereas this one may not.
And that's actually one of the cool things on the website that we're trying to get sorted out, and we really want to perfect this before we put it out, a form. We want to have like a little online forum to talk about things like that, because there's a lot of I know each one of these courses has their own Facebook page, and there can be a lot of kind of biased opinions like on each one of those courses. I want there to be somewhere, and it doesn't matter if there's thousands of members in the forum, but it'll be dope to have like a group of people who we can talk to and talk with about things with honest, legitimate feedback. I don't want people in there advertising a bunch of stuff, but I want to actually be able to talk about the stuff without it being one-sided opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's going to be, once the forum is up and going, which it's in production right now along with the entire website, it will be moderated. I mean, we will be actively moderating it, and eventually we'll probably get some people to moderate it. Now, don't ask us to be a moderator.
Not yet.
That's not how you get to be a moderator on there. We will be choosing moderators.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't ask us to be moderators. So kind of the rollout of the website. Let's talk about that. So this is kind of how we're doing the website. So certain things on the website aren't going to be complete at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that has to do with the user interface for other users other than the admins that are working on the site, which is me.
Chris is the brains behind the website. I'm coming up with some ideas, but he's the one actually putting it together.
Yeah. So we're going to release just the basic website. We're going to get that. Our plan is to get that online this month. Just the basic website. You will not be able to buy any documents right away, and you will not be able to sign up on the forum right away. Then as the rollout kind of goes along, we're going to release access to the forum,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to probably simultaneously release access to the documents.
Exactly.
And the reasoning behind this is, since it's all integrated, the forum and the website login, it's all the same account. It's not two separate accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one login, you get access to it all. So the downside to this is if we make it so that you can create an account, log in, and purchase the books, there's some back-end links that I cannot block access to that will lead you into the forum, and we don't want people getting into the forum when it's not finished, because it makes it harder to work on it, makes it harder to do testing on it, and make sure everything's going smoothly.
But at the same time, it'll be nice having it done, because, for instance, right now, there's some people who watch the podcast on YouTube, there's some people who watch the podcast on Soundcloud, and it's kind of, you can only link one website on your Instagram profile. So instead of saying, go to the YouTube link to watch the podcast, and if you want to listen to the audio, click on the link in that description to go to SoundCloud. You'll be able to go right on the website and just choose where you want to listen to.
The biggest thing behind the forum, at least, is, a lot of people are on social media these days. A lot of people are on social media these days. Most people do, some people don't. The majority of our following is on Instagram. Now, we had a group on Facebook, and we played around with that for a little bit, but since our following was mostly on Instagram, we didn't take the Facebook as seriously. Now, should we have? Yeah, we probably should have.
100%.
The good thing about the forum is you don't have to be on Facebook. You don't have to be on Instagram. You're creating your own account. Then you got one central place, and you can see it all.
Yeah. You
can talk about it all. Now, you can't comment on Instagram posts through the website or anything like that. You'd actually have to go over to Instagram to do that. But as far as a central place for people to come and talk, discuss issues, pop-up questions, whatever, the forum's great for that, because you're not relying on those social media outlets.
I guess the last thing I'll say about this too, the one drawback I've found to the Facebook groups is there's a lot of good information in there, but one thing, ever since I started joining the different FBA Facebook groups, I have been getting 5 to 10 friend requests from fake accounts every single day. Yeah. And that just gets kind of annoying. So hopefully, and there's a lot of spam, there's a lot of advertisements in there, and that's with the forum. I'm going to make sure that I do everything in my power to make sure it's just conversation, no advertisements, no spam, nothing like that. So it'll be nice to just kind of have our own platform to talk and communicate.
Yeah, securely.
Securely,
yeah. It's we're going to be putting a lot of emphasis on security for this website, which I always do on any website I code.
Yeah.
So with that said, if you guys run into any problems on the website, definitely shoot us a message.
Exactly.
And we'll take care of the issue.
Yeah. So that's a little update on the FBA journey. That's one of the primary reasons we haven't been posting as regularly, that's just an excuse, to be honest, but it's true. We've been busy trying to get stuff sorted out for the website. And honestly, I'm really excited for these FBA documents, the lessons we're doing, because one of the things me and Chris were talking about when I was coming up with the document is a lot of the information that I was just coming up with off the top of my head for the document 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. That was stuff I was like spending hours and hours Googling. Like, I didn't know any of that information. And it's almost a reality check as like, holy cow, I've actually learned quite a bit. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, sometimes, especially with what we're dealing with right now with the new product launch, I get discouraged with a lot of the stuff we're doing. But if you really think about it, we've come quite a ways from November of last year when we started this whole thing. Yeah.
And creating those documents is good for us too, because it keeps everything, all of our knowledge in check.
Yeah.
We're constantly reviewing the information. So we'll always have those questions in the back of our mind if somebody's to ask us one of those questions.
Exactly. So
which they typically do.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, we're still getting a lot of questions, so I like that. I don't necessarily care how many followers we have. I don't care about that. I like having the connection with the followers who are actually active. We have over 1,000 followers, but at the end of the day, right now, there's only really, I could say 10 to 20 people max who are actively, talking to us. But it's awesome.
Actively engaged, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, we'll be sure to, we'll keep you guys updated on that. Like Chris said, hopefully by the end of the month, that'll be up and going, at least the base level of the website. But keep your eye out on that. But we talked about this previously, the new product launch. Still painfully trying to get through this product launch for the new brand. And this is something we warn all of our followers about, all of our audience members, is be very aware of everything going on in China. So not going to talk about the new tax tariffs or anything, but one of the biggest things that can hold you back from launching your business, your new brand, whatever you're doing on Amazon, is Chinese holidays. If you're sourcing your products from China. So if you guys have been listening to the last few episodes, you know that we've been trying to launch this brand for well over, probably close to 2 months now.
Getting up there, yeah.
Getting up to 2 months. The products themselves have been done for over a month. We finally got the new LLC, the new bank account, the new Amazon Seller Central.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got the shipping plan ready, we were put back on hold because it's a Chinese, I think it's called National Day in China, but it's not only a day, it's a whole entire week. So what's the date today? The 7th?
Yeah, I think the 8th is when
Yeah, the 8th is when our suppliers are supposedly going to be back in the warehouse. So fingers crossed.
Tomorrow for us.
Yeah, tomorrow for us. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that we can get those shipped out because this kind of ties into the next issue. Q4, I was actually talking to one of our followers, Chris Rodriguez, about this. He's been following us since the beginning, it seems like. But we were talking about the fact that right now is really the hardest time to start a brand or even start an Amazon FBA business that is of the year. Q4 is the hardest time. There's just a lot more stuff going on. But really, the amount of volume that Amazon is getting inventory-wise can actually cause issues. We were actually just talking on the live stream with Derek today. If they start getting too much inventory, they can actually stop accepting new inventory during Q4 just because of how much stuff is moving through the warehouse. So not only is Q4, is there a lot more stuff going on anyway, but we're still kind of there's still a possibility that those products that we've had ready for over a month won't even make it to the warehouse.
Yeah. Well, one thing Derek did mention is that's what they say.
Yeah,
that's what Amazon says.
Yeah.
But he's also heard of people getting inventory in November. So just be proactive about it. Get your inventory in as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Don't wait
till
the very
before
last
November.
Second. Yeah, definitely try to get in October if you can at all.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't push it any later than November. If you push it later in November, you may be pushing it if there's a high volume of inventory coming in.
And one other thing to note about Q4 is Q4 is the time where people are trying to get more sales volume, because sales volume is what gets them more ranks. They get more sales, they get more reviews. It kind of sets everybody up for the next year. That being said, PPC prices start raising dramatically because everybody's competing for those top spots. PPC goes up, more people are using coupons, people are optimizing their listings more, they're taking it more serious. Now, theoretically, they should be doing this throughout the whole year, but it's definitely harder to launch at this point, just because everybody's really putting the effort at this point of the year, which is good, though, because if you can make it through this point of the year, if we can make it through this point of the year, we'll be set up.
And I've had people ask, and I've seen people ask this, not just on Instagram, but on like YouTube and stuff as well. You always get the people that ask, when is the best time to start Amazon FBA?
Yeah.
And if I had to take any shot at saying when the best time to start Amazon FBA is, I'd say Q1 to Q2.
Yeah. Beginning
of the year, because you're kind of coming off of that rush. You kind of got some time to collect yourself. We kind of fell into the bad startup time because we started this up in November of last year.
Yeah.
When we really started getting into FBA, at least. And it wasn't like horrible for us at that time because we started off doing retail arbitrage. That's kind of where we were at in November. So we're just sending stuff in. Of course, some retail arbitrage items are slow.
Yeah.
Then when our first private label product came in, it was a dud anyways, so
by the way, we only have 99 units left. We ordered 600. We have 99 units left. We finally started selling through those things.
Slowly but surely. I'm just curious to see where the new monthly long-term storage fees are going to hit us on that, because those are coming up on a year really fast.
And that's another thing, whether it's Q4, Q1, Q2, one thing I don't think enough people do is stay up to date on Amazon's policy changes. And honestly,
they change all the time.
Just being 100% honest, I slack on that. Luckily, Chris is diligent enough to check it it seems like every week or two, so he keeps me updated, but that's something I know I can work on. But anybody out there looking to start an FBA business, keep an eye on the seller forums or just their update tab, because there's a lot of stuff always changing. Just from the time we've started to now, so much has changed.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be crazy to see. Some things may go back to how they were in the next year or two. Some things may just continue to change, but definitely need to work on keeping up to date on that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, no real updates on the product other than it's still just sitting in the warehouse. Like we said, hopefully they ship it on the 8th. I'm hoping, because we have to get new labels printed on all the products, and I'm hoping that they got those labels on already. Because it would be nice if they could just get back to their warehouse and just send them out that day, but time will tell on that one. Luckily we have the suppliers on Skype, and she's pretty quick about responding. So that goes also hand in hand with when finding a supplier, message as many as you can, because this current supplier we're working with has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
she's even she's called us to try to keep us informed, just messaging us about every little thing, and it's helped a lot. It's cut back on our stress. But next time we get an update on the new product, we'll be sure to let you know. One of the things moving forward into 2019 that I wanted to talk to you about is something that we have constantly struggled with. I think this is something that a lot of new sellers, or even sellers who have been doing it kind of for as long as we have, we're coming up on a year, we're profitable. On paper, we are 100% profitable at this point. We're still making money every month. We're still getting paychecks every 2 weeks from Amazon. But some people are doing this as a side hustle, and at this point, for a lot of people, this would be sufficient. They could pull out a couple $100 a month, and they'd be making a little extra money.
Yep.
We're doing more of this in hopes of doing Amazon FBA as a full-time job, essentially. We don't have to worry about it. And one of the things that we're struggling with, I think you know this too in the back of your mind, I know we've talked about, is cash flow. We're profitable on paper, but moving forward into 2019, it's going to be crucial that we remain profitable, but also get more cash flow. Because the thing is, right now, we have enough money. The way everything's moving, if we're making enough to reorder our products, save a little bit for a new product launch, and just we're reinvesting and we're still gaining money and we're still creating more net income, but it's very, very small. And one of the things we're dealing with right now is we've been doing this for a year now, and theoretically we have more than enough to pull out a little bit for personal use if we truly wanted to. If we truly wanted to and or needed to, we could do it.
No,
but
it wouldn't be smart to.
It wouldn't be smart to. And that's the thing. Moving forward, especially with a new brand, and now we're more comfortable with understanding how everything works, is we need to start figuring out ways to cut costs, whether that be on just sample mess-ups, making sure we get more photos from the supplier instead of having to send samples every time there's an adjustment made. Just PPC.
Shipping's the biggest thing. If you can get the timing right for your shipping, and you can just do the lowest standard, whether that's sea shipping or just whatever the lowest option that they offer is.
Yeah.
That cuts down, several $100s at a time. Not paying with a credit card. Use a bank transfer, just the ACH, I think it is. Just do a bank transfer. And
takes a couple extra days, but it saves you that.
It's like
fee.
3 days max extra. Yeah. But you're not getting charged credit card fees.
Which
and
is
on
like
Alibaba,
6%.
I've seen the credit card fees on some orders go up to even into the hundreds of dollars range for a partial payment.
Yeah.
Not even the full payment. So
it's wild.
So anything you can do payment-wise or shipping-wise is going to cut down your cost quite a bit.
Yeah. It's just I feel
the
like
timing thing.
That's really going to be the biggest thing we got to work on right now. Because being profitable, Matt Loberstein actually has a whole video on this, and it's so true. Being profitable on paper is good, and like I said, we have enough to where if we had to, we could pull out money. But like you said, it's not smart. But now that we know how everything works, we know what we have to do. It's just crucial that we get into the cash flow. We need cash flow in order to survive. If we want to do this full time, we're just going to have to figure out how to cut costs, create more profitable products. And that's why I'm excited for the brand, because I don't want to have to be with this new brand fighting for the lowest price.
Yeah.
I want to have a set price. I want to create a brand awareness. I want to have a brand following. I don't want to have to worry about making my product cheaper every single day because my competitors are. Yeah. I don't want to be the cheapest one. I want to be, I want to be the most expensive one. I want people to want to pay the extra $5, $6, $7 to be a part of the brand. And I guess that's also a perk of creating a brand. You have the opportunity to do that. Or a lot of people just selling miscellaneous products, there's no connection, no true connection with the customer.
Yeah.
Man, well, that's cash flow. That is one hell of an issue, and it becomes more and more prominent the longer you're in the Amazon FBA business model, I feel like. Because it's eating us alive right now. Like I said, we're making money on paper, but until we get comfortably
it's hard to grow and expand when you don't have that cash flow.
Yeah.
Look at where we started from. How much money we put? We put a couple $1,000s into this business on the start, but that's all we could afford to put into it.
Exactly.
Some people get lucky; they have $10,000-$20,000 laying around to invest in something.
Yeah. And
then you get a boost, a head start, because if you manage that money correctly, you can grow it a lot faster. You can
100%.
You can buy 4 products up front if you wanted to,
just to test it out.
We had enough for one. Then we had to take out a
essentially a loan, just borrowed money.
Yeah. Borrowed $4,500 to get our next product.
Yeah.
And we're still working on paying that off, which we're not paying like a lot towards it. I'd like to be. I'd like to get to a point where we're paying it off in thousands and not 500.
Yeah.
But it gives you a little bit of time to kind of
pay that off,
and you're not you're not just grabbing chunks of change out of your bank account. It gives you a little bit more freedom as to what you can look at as your next products, because you're always going to have that little bit of money in there. So just if you don't start off with a lot of capital and you're constantly having to resupply products and think about launching a new one, it's hard to launch that new one because it's a step. You're going up steps. You got to build up to the amount to be able to launch that next product. And that's where we're kind of at. Is
Yeah, and that's
hard to get past that.
That's why I've gone back to working more. I mean, I'm still a part-time employee at my 9-to-5 job, but I'm going back to work more just primarily. I mean, I'm making enough to live working part-time, but I'm going to start working a little bit more just to dump a little bit more money in the business. We've talked about this before. I want to start. There's yard sales everywhere around us. There is yard sales everywhere. A lot of military
one going
families.
down there right now.
Yeah, there's one right down the street, and I just it would be. Money is an issue, but we have the resources to not. It doesn't have to be an issue. We have the resources. I tell this to people all the time. People I work with are talking about I wish I could make an extra $500 a month. That's not an issue. You have the resources to do that. Hell, I sold 3 things. I sold 3 things on eBay, just that were laying in my closet. $127, I think, for everything. I can't remember, but hell, I know people right now who could benefit from $127.
Yeah.
But that's really it. That's kind of what's going on with the website. That's what's going on with the Q4. And really the biggest thing we're dealing with right now is cash flow. And as much as I want to talk about this more in depth, there's really not much to talk about. We just know what we got to do. And really, this new brand, once it starts, now that we know how to handle everything, it's going to be just super important to figure out where we can cut costs. And that probably means ordering more units at a time as well, which is more money you got to play with up front, but the return's higher. So that's kind of what's been going on. Apologize for the lack of content, but there's a reason behind it. I'm really excited to show you guys this website when it's all done. We have between Chris's web development work and some of our buddies, they do photography, videography, and now he's actually doing logos and stuff. The new logo for the website's awesome. We're going to try to get cool little intros and outros for the videos and podcasts, so it'll be pretty exciting. I'm excited to show it to you guys. Still in the building phase, but late October we should have at least the base website for you guys to check out. But that's really all I want to talk about today, man. You have anything else?
No.
Good to go?
Good.
All right, guys.
Not a
Want
lot.
to hit him with the outro?
Not a lot else going on. It's just hurry up and wait right now.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, guys. As always, stay focused, keep selling, and we'll see you next time.
Sweet.